888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder, also known as the Great Eldersky. Mr. Kirby, is my pocket square straight? Can't have a lumpy pocket square. You can watch the show, as you know, on youtube.com/The Larry Elder Show Radio. Salvation Army is being ditched by donors and volunteers after they released their anti-racism guide, apparently accusing donors and volunteers of engaging in racism doesn't cause donors and volunteers to have a happy heart during this Christmas holiday season. What's this? The Biden administration is offering bonuses to doctors who implement anti-racism plans. Maybe they'll use the money they would have given the Salvation Army to the doctors for the... Senator John Kennedy, one of our favorites, asked a Biden judicial nominee about social justice. Is that more important than fighting crime? And she wouldn't answer the question. Very entertaining. Biden spokesperson was asked if Biden plans on running for re-election. And she said, during the 2016 election, I debated a left-wing talk show host named Roland Martin. I don't think I ever played you any excerpts from that debate. We're going to try and get those in today. Oh, and the nouveau dirty Harry mayor of San Francisco has declared a state of emergency to fight the, quote, nasty streets, close quote, of her city. Nasty streets? That's close to Hillary referring to criminals as predators. Is someone going to call her racist? Cops not happy at the NFL for funding anti-cop groups. The cops say, we're there defending you at games all the time, providing security, and you're funding groups that say you should defund the police. Should you defund the police at stadiums as well? Just asking. Obama's 2021 musical playlist includes songs that worship Satan. You know, Obama says he's a Christian. You wouldn't think he'd have on songs that worship Satan, although he did have a 20-year relationship with that pastor who was anti-white, anti-Semitic, so we'll be talking about that. But first, I want to start with this story, somewhat obscure, perhaps. You know who Elon Musk is? Richest man in America, richest person in America, and is going to be paying $15 billion in taxes this year. Unfortunately for Californians, since he's now relocated to Florida, California won't get the state income taxes that they otherwise would have gotten had he remained. But I digress. And he has been slammed by Elizabeth Warren on the Joy Reid show that I watched, so you don't have to, on MSNBC. Hee-haw. And Elizabeth Warren made the case that Elon Musk used a great deal of taxpayer money in order to launch some of his projects, including Tesla. And Musk, as you know, not shy, referred to her as Senator Karen and reminded everybody that she faked her heritage as a Native American in order to get an advantage to become a professor at Harvard. And he accused Joy Reid of being her lobbyist. And Joy Reid shot back and accused him of cultural appropriation for using the term Karen to insult Elizabeth Warren because it's a term that was invented by black people, she said. Sigh.
Elon wasn't happy, so he did what he always did and stomped his little feet and insulted Senator Warren, calling her an angry mom and referring to her as Senator Karen. So for so many reasons, being a freeloader and a selfish and disrespectful one, and for misappropriating black vernacular for misogynistic purposes, Elon Musk is the absolute worst. Meanwhile, Senator Warren has better things to do than fight with Junior Birdman on Twitter.
Wow. Called him a freeloader. And he wrote a series of texts, of tweets, criticizing Joy Reid, criticizing Elizabeth Warren. And I wrote a tweet, and I made sure he was pegged on it so he would see it. Because he left out some major things he should have said about Joy Reid. Here's the first one. And not even the most important one regarding being called a freeloader. You know, Joy Reid had a blog 2007, 2008, 2009, before she became a host on MSNBC. And in her blog, she made a number of posts smearing, mocking, attacking gays. She implied that Tom Cruise was gay. Karl Rove, she said, was gay. The then senator of Florida, Charlie Crist, rather. She called him Miss Charlie. Miss Charlie, stop pretending, brother. It's okay you don't go for the ladies. Another one she wrote, now he's married to a girl. Charlie Crist is being sought for all kinds of good stuff. Quote, I can just see poor Charlie on the honeymoon ogling the male waiters and thinking to himself, God, do I actually have to see her naked? Close quote. It included a joke with Chris having sex with Senator John McCain. She implied that Chief Justice John Roberts' son is gay. She also said this, quote, most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing, close quote. She also said, quote, adult gay men tend to be attracted to very young post-pubescent types, close quote. And in one post she said, quote, does that make me homophobic? Probably, close quote. Now, these posts emerged after she got a job as a host on MSNBC. And guess what? She denied making them. She said she'd been hacked. She was a victim of a homophobic hate crime. NBC hired a forensic specialist to determine whether or not she'd been hacked. She wasn't. She lied. And later on, she acknowledged she'd posted them. And now she has a gig on MSNBC, but then down the hall is probably Al Sharpton, who, as you know, said some pretty bigoted things himself over the years, but I guess there's a high tolerance for bigots over at MSNBC. Now, that's just one thing I mentioned that Elon Musk should have pointed out. The other one is this. This article from Politico, which is not exactly conservative. Year of our Lord 2015. Headline, for MSNBC, that didn't say it, for MSNBC. I'm so used to saying MSNBC, it's hard for me to break the habit. 4 MSNBC hosts plagued by tax debt. Guess who one of the 4 is? Joy Reid. Quote, the National Review notes that New York last month filed a $4,948.15 tax warrant against former daytime host Joy Ann Reid and her husband. So here she is calling him a tax freeloader when she had a tax warrant filed against her by the state of New York back in 2015. Mr. Musk, I think you got to bring this up. Here she is, MSNBC, hosting a show every day, ripping people for their bigotry, when in 2007, 2008, 2009, she made some blatantly offensive, bigoted comments about gays, denied that she made them, claimed that she had been hacked. She wasn't, then apologized for it. And back in 2015, the state of New York filed a tax warrant against her and her husband for failure to pay almost $5,000 in taxes. And she's calling Elon Musk a man who's going to pay more income taxes this year than any American ever paid, a freeloader. Mr. Musk, I hope you're listening to the show. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. When we come back, cops not happy at the NFL for funding anti-cop groups. Do you want us to defund the cops that are protecting you at stadiums? They ask. 888-971-SAGE. This is Friday. We will be playing Can You Beat Kirk and Phonabro. Stick around for that. I am Larry Elder. Do not leave town.
trending now on The Mike Gallagher Show.
To hear the White House press secretary blame Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott and other Republican governors for playing politics by trying to preserve jobs, not let people get fired over the vaccine mandate. What's the political gain for a governor to stand up to a tyrannical machine and say, you're not going to fire people because they don't want to put a medicine in their arm? You can't try to draw that line in the sand and say, well, the government shouldn't do it, but businesses can. We're either going to fire people over a personal medical decision or we're not. You're splitting hairs when you say, well, now the government, Gary Kelly flat out said, we don't want to do this at Southwest Airlines. He knows that this is a work stoppage. What's happened in Southwest, it isn't weather. They're not having any computer glitches. They got people working who aren't going to show up, and they're going to try to send Southwest a message. And Gary Kelly, the CEO of Southwest, admitted it by saying, we don't want this. Biden's making us do it. The government's making us do it. These zealots in charge, the kind of tyrannical governors we saw putting lines in the Home Depot, and you can go to the garden section, but you can't go to the towel section, and all this crap. Put a mask on to walk to your table and take the mask off when you sit at the table. Like you can't spread COVID at the table, but you can when you're walking to the men's room. Are you kidding me? Would you stop it? And worst of all, forcing people to take a vaccine or get fired.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
The image of Superman in a homosexual kiss. Because DC Comics, I guess they don't want to sell comics. And now the new Superman, the son of Kal-El, is going to come out as gay, or as Jeff pointed out, I guess he's bi, right? Whatever, who cares? But here's the bottom line. This is beautiful. I hope Media Matters is writing this one up. Hey, Zachy Poo, are you typing? How many homosexuals, how many gay people are there in society? 1%, 1.5%. Let's be generous. Let's double it. 3%! 3% of America are gay. And the gay people I know, they don't rub it in your face. It's just a thing they do. It's private. It's not an agenda they got to ram in your face. Say, look, this is me. It's the radical fraction of that 2%. The loud screamers. The identity politics harridans. So why are you trying to placate a fraction of 2%? It's dumb business sense, really. Means you're weak. It's not courageous to have a gay Superman. It's the opposite. You're a panderer.
Hi, Larry. I'm a deputy sheriff with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department on the north end of the county. I want to let you know why Governor Newsom's statistics are so skewed about crime in our area is because none of these establishments, such as your department stores, want to be victims anymore. I have been personally responding to calls for service of petty theft, grand theft, and nobody wants to be a victim anymore. So there you go. That's why your stats are skewed, Mr. Newsom, and crime is on the rise. Sorry to break the news to you.
Hi, Larry. Eric in L.A., one of the handful of openly practicing black Republicans here in California, although our numbers are growing, largely because of you, my friend. Nancy Pelosi wonders why there is an air of lawlessness in this country. And again, she says she doesn't know why. First of all, that doesn't surprise me. She's as clueless as the president. But it's very easy. It's because she and Kamala Harris raising money for criminals who perpetrated all of these quote unquote mostly peaceful protests, Antifa and Black Lives Matter protests, destroying statues and burning up police stations and so forth during the course of the last summer and year and a half. And now we have all of these mostly peaceful break-ins, these mostly peaceful carjackings, these mostly peaceful home invasions, these mostly peaceful pick something else. But it's all their fault, the Democratic Party.
Fact is that there is an attitude of lawlessness in our country that springs from I don't know where. Maybe you do.
888-971-SAG, 888-971-7243. I don't know why. Maybe you do. Number one job of government is to protect people and property, and here she is saying, I have no idea how to do that. I just don't know. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Wink in Hawaii. Don't leave town. I'll talk to you in just a second, all right? Now, the excitement is building among the Prison Fellowship volunteers with Christmas just 8 days from today. My Salem colleagues and I have now generated enough donations to bless over 20,000 children of prisoners with a life-changing Christmas experience this year. But time's running out. There are over 1.5 million children who, through no fault of their own, have a mom or dad or sometimes even both in prison this year. You can make an eternal difference in the lives of these children when you support Angel Tree by going to LarryElder.com and clicking on the Angel Tree banner to make a donation. Your gifts make it possible for Prison Fellowship field directors like Denise Harris in Michigan to get into prisons and sign up parents to get personalized presents to their children by Christmas.
It was such a blessing to assist these men and women sign up their children for Angel Tree. Many of the inmates thanked us for being there and shared how they really appreciated Angel Tree. One man handed me his Angel Tree form for review and said when he gets out of prison, he'd be supporting Angel Tree because it's been a blessing to his child for 3 years.
Now, the cost to help reach just one child with Angel Tree is only $25, or $125 will help reach 5 children. You do the math and figure out how many kids God is calling you to bless this Christmas with the delivery of a gift, the gospel, and connecting incarcerated parents with their children, not just at Christmas, but every day. Let's show these kids they are not forgotten. Call right now to phone in a gift, 888-206-2763, 888-206-2763, or just go to LarryElder.com and click on the Angel Tree banner. In the final hour, the third hour of my show, we're going to be playing Can You Beat Kirk? The categories are This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives. If you think you're sharp in This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives, give us a call in the third hour. More on that in due course. Yesterday, I asked you the following zip poll question. Have you been a victim of crime while outdoors in the last year? 7% of you said yes. That's still high. 93% of you said no. Here's the one for tonight. We'll go over these results on Monday. If you had a choice not to wear a mask while on a plane, would you wear a mask anyway? Yes or no? In order to participate, you must be a member of the Zip community. Go to your app store, download the Zip app by searching under Zip Poll USA, and use my code SAGE to answer the question. If you had a choice not to wear a mask while on an airplane, would you wear a mask anyway? Yes or no? Remember, 2 CEOs of major airlines testified that they don't believe the masks on planes do any good whatsoever, given how frequently the air is circulated. So, yes or no, and be sure and use my code SAGE, S-A-G-E. We'll go over the results on Monday. Wink is in Hawaii. Wink, you're on the Larry Elder Show. Thank you so much for calling.
Hey, Larry, thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I live in the most expensive state probably in the country, and pretty much that's due to the Democrats. I wish you'd run for president. But I wish our constituents, our local representatives here, would start talking to their other congressmen and senators about their behavior. Because Elon Musk, are you kidding? We'd love to have him here in Hawaii paying that much in taxes. I'm a small businessman who, thanks to Donald Trump, we got a bit of relief. But looking forward, I'm not sure that that's going to hold, and it affects me directly. Mm-hmm. So I wish you would run for president because you're what we need today.
Well, Wink, thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to make an announcement about what I'm going to do regarding politics probably the first week of this year. But certainly I'm going to stay involved. I've not yet made a decision exactly what to do, whether I'm going to challenge this guy again next year or whether I'm going to do something to help get Republicans elected to take over the House and take back the Senate, and then get involved in issues like school choice and opposing things like critical race theory. So it's going to be one or the other. 888-971-SAGE. And Wink, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I visited Hawaii for my first time a couple of years ago. It was the only state of the 50 I'd never gone to. I always figured as a Californian, Hawaii is always there. It's going to always be there. They're not going to move it. I don't know. Under this administration, maybe they will. And I finally ticked that one off. So I've now visited every state in the union, including Alaska. Wink, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. The name Wink always makes me think of Wink Martindale, the longtime game show host. I'm friends with him. And his wife, Sandy, just texted me and told me that he had gotten an offer he couldn't refuse. I think they live in Palm Springs. And so now he's going back on the radio. And so Wink is still kicking butt. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Remember when Nancy Pelosi had difficulty saying George Floyd and called him George Kirby, mixing him up with the late comedian? Apparently Joe Biden is catching the same disease.
On police reform, I share the frustration. And I know the family well. George Family Justice Act and Policing Act. I know the family well.
George George.
On police reform, I share the frustration. And I know the family well. George Family Justice Act and Policing Act. I know the family well.
And then he forgot who was president.
All kidding aside, of course, President Harris is a proud Howard alum. She might have something to say about Delaware State.
Actually, Mr. President, Joe Biden is president. Maybe we should do that on the trivia clue. Who is president of the United States?
All kidding aside, of course, President Harris is a proud Howard alum. She might have something to say about Delaware State.
We come back. All of a sudden, the mayor of San Francisco sounds like Dirty Harry. I'm Larry Elder.
Trending now on The Charlie Kirk Show.
So who wins when there is a clash on the left between separate preferred activist groups? Who gets preference? Who wins? Now, on the left, they have a hierarchy. Not any different than a hierarchy that you'd have in any sort of organization. You see, when the left has a moment of disagreement or conflict, it is very important to realize that there is a structure of what matters more than something else.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube today. Trending now on The Charlie Kirk Show.
That's kind of my shtick. Traveling the country, going to high school and college campuses, talking about how we need to properly educate young people about American history, civics, the development of the character, understanding how parents should have a primary role in their children's education, trying to have young people understand that there is objective truth, educate them about metaphysics and a transcendent order and meaning. These are things that I've been warning about for years, and I don't want to say that I was ignored. That would not be fair. Conservative base always took it seriously. People considered it to be a top 10 issue.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on The Mike Gallagher Show.
I also have a view that the withdrawal of those forces would lead inevitably to the collapse of the Afghan military forces and eventually the Afghan government.
Well, you were right, and it took 11 days for the Taliban to take over Afghanistan. Have you seen some of the images coming out of Afghanistan, by the way? They're real pleasant. Bodies being hung from overpasses, people being executed in the street, an Afghan soldier led out into the street and just shot dead. The Taliban walking around with these giant whips and they're hitting women over the backs. Here's Secretary Austin also contradicting Biden and exposing Joe Biden for the bald-faced lie, the bald-faced lie he told the American people.
It's a simple question, Secretary Austin. He said no senior military leader advised him to leave a small troop presence behind. Is that true or not? Did these officer and General Miller's recommendations get to the president personally?
Their input was received by the president and considered by the president for sure. In terms of what they specifically recommended, Senator, as they just said, they're not going to provide what they recommended in confidence.
What a crap storm. What a crap show. Senator Josh Hawley put it best. Thank goodness for people like Josh Hawley and Marsha Blackburn and Dan Sullivan. The Republicans were certainly
Hey, Larry, it's Chris from Seattle again. Just wanted to comment on that guy who called from California claiming that a whole bunch of homeless people are flooding over into California from other states, and other states just send their homeless people to California and California only. That's not true. In fact, if that guy actually knew the percentage of homeless people that are of California citizens compared to ones that are being sent over, he probably wouldn't have even said that. A few hundred homeless people being sent to California versus the massive amount of Californian homeless people. This kid didn't even know what he was talking about.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Well, thank you so much for that. I know that they are some of the homeless people are, in fact, here from out of state because a lot of police officers have told me that. I toured, among other places, Skid Row, and you'd be surprised the number of officers who told me that many of these people were not even from this state. Maybe we can get a LAPD officer to call in at 888-971-SAGE if you work that area of town and give me your thoughts. I know that some, I never said most or the majority certainly, but I'm just saying some. 888-971-SAGE if you want to confirm or refute what I just now said. Now, all of you out there know that MyPillow, they don't have box stores. They don't have shopping channels. And by the way, Mike is sending hundreds of thousands of pillows to the families devastated by the tornadoes in Kentucky. And the pillows will all arrive on Christmas Eve. Just want you to know. I'm sorry, they're sending over 10,000 pillows that'll be given away. And that's a total of $350,000 if you add it up. And you've been very supportive, even though Mike has been canceled by stores like Bed Bath & Beyond. And he wants to show his appreciation. So now you can get the lowest price in history of MyPillow for their classic standard MyPillow, regularly $69.98, now only $19.98 with promo code. They also have queen size, regularly $79.98, now $24.98 with promo code. Or king size, regularly $89.98, now only $29.98 with your promo code. And MyPillow is not just pillows. They have over 150 pillows, everything from sleepwear to my new beds. Promo code also works on mystore.com and frankspeech.com. So go to mypillow.com or call 1-800-890-1843 and use promo code Larry. That's 1-800-890-1843, mypillow.com. Take advantage of Mike's special offer on his standard MyPillow. MyPillow.com, promo code Larry, 1-800-890-1843. No one's picking up the phones. Now, before I get into the nouveau Dirty Harry, I'm cleaning out some boxes today, trying to pare down a little bit for Christmas. And I came across a couple of letters. This one came in November of this year. Dear Mr. Elder, I have great admiration of you for trying to make this world a better and more just civilization. I believe you exemplify courage and honor, as did Frederick Douglass. And he enclosed an authentic photograph of Frederick Douglass, framed. Therefore, I find it fitting and proper that you should have this gift. Let it be a token of my appreciation to you and your meaning to my life. You have been a role model of courage and strength as well as goodness and honor. Thank you, and may God be with you and bless you always. Sincerely, Jeff. And I won't reveal Jeff's last name, but Jeff, thank you very much. And then I have this one. This was June of this year. For some reason, I kept this. And this is sent to me by someone named Liz from Dallas. Message: greetings, colored man. When you get something like that, it's probably going to go downhill from that point on. You are the worst type of human ever created by Lord God. I'm thinking, I don't know, Hitler, Stalin, Mao, I don't know, but you are the worst type of human ever created by the Lord God. So it's a Christian. Playing black music is a disgrace and dishonorable to all black musicians throughout our historical past. You protect a race of people that will burn you at the stake. Your confusion and loyalty is pure depravity. Yours, Liz. I guess I'm not in the will. Ah, the yin and yang of being the great Eldersky. You exemplify courage and honor versus you are the worst type of human being ever created by Lord God. Sounds like a Christian, right? Coming back, the mayor of San Francisco now sounds like Dirty Harry. I'm going to remind you of how she sounded last year. Now, instead of getting more coal for the holidays from Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you know, the overpriced wireless carriers, how about getting a new iPhone for just $479 from Pure Talk? That's right. Through the end of the year, new Pure Talk customers can get an iPhone 12 for just $479. So listen, switch to Pure Talk where you'll get nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. I'm a customer. I would not tell you to use a service I'm not completely happy with. So make the switch. With Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. And like I said, iPhone 12 just $479. From your cell phone, dial pound 250, say Larry Elder, and save an additional 50% off your first month. Plus save on a new phone. That's pound 250, say Larry Elder, pound 250, say Larry Elder. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
He is America. Captain America's trying, but nah, not so much. It's Superman. That's why kids have loved him. Adults have loved. When I saw Superman, I was, 8 years old, and I saw Christopher Reeve. You believed a man could fly. And I wanted to be an American. And now I am. But they've killed it. They killed James Bond in the new movie. Sorry, guys, spoilers. I've seen it. It's crap. Don't waste your time. They killed James Bond. Dead. Gone. Because I guess what? He was too sexy? Too toxic in his masculinity? Gone! Now they've done it with the Superman franchise. I posted this yesterday. Turned my Instagram on fire. The image of Superman in a homosexual kiss. Because DC Comics, I guess they don't want to sell comics. And now the new Superman, the son of Kal-El, is going to come out as gay. Or as Jeff pointed out, I guess he's bi, right? Whatever, who cares? But here's the bottom line. This is beautiful. I hope Media Matters is writing this one up. Hey, Zachy Poo, are you typing? How many homosexuals, how many gay people are there in society? 1%, 1.5%. Let's be generous. Let's double it. 3%! 3% of America are gay. And the gay people I know, they don't rub it in your face.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe today at rumble.com. Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
Mark Milley admitted yesterday that for that pathetic pseudo-journalist Bob Woodward, for his new blockbuster dishing book of scandal, Mark Milley gave him hours of interviews. Hours? Sorry. How busy should the chairman of the Joint Chiefs be? Just curious. As the Taliban is ready to take back Afghanistan, these are interviews he gave this stinking year. This year. As the Taliban is rising, as China is building its military, as Iran is threatening us, as Russia is being ever more militaristic, you're sitting down for hours.
Hey, Larry, it's Dan from Phoenix. I was listening to your show yesterday, and you left something out of your talk about tornadoes. See, I'm an ex-bartender from New York, so I'm very knowledgeable about a carousel of things. And yesterday, while I was pumping gas in my electric vehicle, I had an epiphany. You forgot to talk about how global warming has caused an increase in sharknadoes. Yes, sharknadoes. This is real, Larry. I have seen all of the movies, and everyone should be living in fear from this natural occurring phenomenon. This is truly, truly a generational crisis of our times. Please get the word out to your listeners, Larry, to be on the lookout, and as always, keep up the good work. God bless.
You know, one night I'm trying to find something to watch, and I saw one of these shark movies. Do you know how many of them they've made? 2-headed sharks, 3-headed sharks, 5-headed sharks, Republican sharks, sharks that are engaging in insurrection. It's stunning how many shark movies there are. I think global warming doesn't cause the proliferation of Sharknado. They cause the proliferation of Sharknado movies. They were so bad they were almost entertaining. 888-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. At least Samuel L. Jackson wasn't in it. I'm looking for anything that Samuel L. Jackson wasn't in. Now, President Biden keeps declaring that COVID shouldn't be a political issue, but that raises a very important question, doesn't it? Why doesn't he simply lift the most burdensome political football of all, his own administration's unconstitutional and illegal vaccine mandate? For America's small businesses, mandates are costly, cumbersome, and controversial, and they distract from their real business at this time of the year, serving customers who are doing their Christmas shopping. This is another reason Job Creators Network is suing the Biden administration over its illegal vaccine mandate, because until it is withdrawn, small businesses continue to suffer from uncertainty over whether or not the mandate will take effect and how much of their workforce they'll lose if it does. Small business owners cannot afford this expensive legal work to fight Washington, but Job Creators Network can with your help. Join with JCN to help small business owners fight this illegal mandate. Just go to blockthemandate.com. That's blockthemandate.com. Not only have I been told by officers that other states put their homeless on a bus and send them to California. Remember the time that Gavin Newsom invited the homeless population to California? He sure did. He pledged to house and feed the world's homeless population. Quote, "It's about getting people off the streets, out of incidents of crisis, and meeting people where they are, and to the extent that people want to come here for new beginnings and all income levels, that's part of the California dream. We have a responsibility to accommodate and enliven and inspire, and California's dream is alive and well. I'm proud of people from around the world looking at California, again, for opportunity, and that, again, should not just be for certain people." End of quote. Now, you note that more people are leaving California than coming. So I guess what Gavin Newsom wants to do is stem the exodus of people from California, the net loss of population, by inviting homeless people to come here. That's one way of dealing with it. That way he won't be accused of overseeing an exodus of people out of California. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Mark is in San Bernardino. Mark, you're on the Larry Elder Show. By the way, Mark, I carried your county when I ran for governor.
I believe you did. We appreciate everything that you tried to do, and unfortunately it didn't work out, but I know you're still fighting the good fight.
Thank
and
you.
Been a fan for a long time, so I heard your topic. I thought I'd give you a call.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So you were talking about Skid Row and the increase of homeless coming from out of state. It's absolutely true across the state. I work in EMS in the county of San Bernardino, and we deal with the homeless on a daily basis. We speak to them, and there are a lot of people that come from out of state, not only by bus, but they take the trains. They get on the trains, and it's less hassle for the train employees to just let them get on and deal with it than have to worry about getting hurt or attacked, or, some people are just afraid. So they are coming here, and a lot of the reasons I hear is it's just easier to be homeless here than it is in other states. The benefits are there. They're allowed to pretty much do whatever they want with no recourse. There's a lot less harassment by the police department. Oftentimes, they go to the hospital just to get a sandwich, and then they leave. And that's really what it comes down to. It is simple. It is just easier to be a homeless person in California than it is in other parts of the region. I see it firsthand every single day. I've been doing this for the last 6 years, and it's only getting worse.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for the call. That's what I heard. That's what I thought. And again, Gavin Newsom is encouraging. Come on down. We have an obligation, he said, to accommodate people who want to come here, whether or not they have a job, if they want to sleep on the streets, if they want to freeload. We have an obligation to accommodate them, says the governor. So you're surprised that people are sending their homeless people to California? It's not like they're doing anything inconsistent with what the government out here wants. He encourages them. Kind of like the way Joe Biden is encouraging illegal aliens to come here. Same principle. People respond to incentives. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Mark, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. This is Fox 5, Washington, D.C. Listen to...
Thieves take off with a woman's purse as she was visiting her son's grave over the weekend.
Not only did the thief get away with money, but also irreplaceable, sentimental reminders of her dead son.
Wait. Thieves steal a woman's purse as she's visiting her son's grave? Did I hear that? I think I did hear that.
Thieves take off with a woman's purse as she was visiting her son's grave over the weekend.
Not only did the thief get away with money, but also irreplaceable, sentimental reminders of her dead son. Fox 5 Sierra, Fox Live tonight in Waldorf, Maryland, where she spoke exclusively with that victim. Sierra?
Marina and Jim, who steals from someone as they're mourning? I did speak with a woman whose purse was stolen while she was visiting her son's grave. She wants to remain anonymous, but right now she says she's just trying to put her life back together.
How could anybody do this at Christmas time? How could anybody do it any time? But this time of year especially the cemetery, it's unbelievable.
Her son passed away in 2015, and she visits his grave almost every weekend after church. The woman says she left her car door unlocked at the Trinity Memorial Gardens in Waldorf, Maryland, while she was paying respects this past Sunday at 11:15 in the morning. When she returned to her car, she was on her phone for a little, then looked over at the passenger seat to put it away in her purse. But that's when she realized it was gone.
We come back. The mayor of San Francisco has gone from defund the police, moving $120 million from the police budget, to sounding like Dirty Harry. All of that and more. 888-971-SAGE. Have you ordered the 3-week quick start? It is still only $19.95. That is less than $1 a day to see if we can get you out of pain. After that, well, less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day to stay out of pain. Do you have back, shoulder, neck, hip, foot, knee pain from exercise or just getting older? If so, consider ordering the 3-week quick start. 4 100% drug-free ingredients, each of which deals with pain from a different metabolic pathway. Just go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
Trending now on the Larry Elder Show.
Southwest was devastated this week, straight up lying, talking about it was the weather. The reason why 2,000 flights were canceled over the weekend, Friday through Sunday, and then over 300 or nearly 400 more on Monday. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of these people just called out sick. They just called out sick. They've been threatened by their employer because their employer happens to be a federal contractor, and because of that, because the federal government has their hands in Southwest Airlines, they have to comply. Now, here's the news. Nothing has happened as of yet, so technically, Southwest Airlines does not have to comply right now, and they can wait for OSHA to make whatever edict they're going to lay out that has not been done thus far, but nonetheless, they suspect that it is coming down the pike. You get all these pilots, 10,000 pilots, 60 to 70% of these pilots are men and women that fought for our freedom, and we're going to kick them off the freaking job. Can you imagine the disruption? You talk about, we look at the ports in California. Can you imagine the supply chain disruption if now we can't even unload cargo ships and we're going to have fewer and fewer pilots? Fewer trained pilots? I don't want to fly. I don't know if they're going to be like United Airlines and bring social justice warrior pilots on. I don't even want to fly. Listen, if you're a pilot, I don't care if you're pink, red, white. I want the best doggone pilot when I'm sitting up in that can.
Hi, Larry. This is the General from Vacaville. I love your show. I was calling in regards to Erica D. Smith and why I don't think she'll come onto your program. I don't feel she'll come onto your program because she probably didn't write the article, or she was part of a group that wrote that article, and the reason they put her stamp of approval on it is because she's black and she's female, and therefore you cannot accuse the LA Times of racism. Anyway, that's just a thought. Have a great day, Larry. Happy holidays. Bye.
Oh, I think it's a simpler reason than that. She's a coward. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. She is ReliefFactor.com today. She just assumed I wasn't going to invite her on the program. I could take a swipe at him. There's no recourse. He's not going to do anything about it. Actually, I invited you on my show. Invited you on the show publicly. My producer sent 3 emails to you to invite you on the show. And you claim you didn't get them. He sent yet another one. And now all of a sudden it's radio free silence. By the way, in her article where she took a swipe at me just a few days ago, she said that I'm known for, quote, demonizing black liberals to entertain white conservatives, close quote. But it's okay for her to, quote, demonize black conservatives to entertain white liberals with her column. And I know that the majority of the readership of the LA Times is white because last year a bunch of LA Times staffers were angry at the way the LA Times covered the protests in the streets. They thought their coverage demeaned black people. And they accused the LA Times of demeaning black people because for their majority white audience. I didn't say it. They said it. By the way, Erica Smith, in teeing off on me a few days ago, she capitalized the word black, but didn't capitalize the word white. Is that an example of black supremacy? I'm just asking. Chris is in Seattle, Washington. Chris, you're on the Larry Elder Show. Thank you so much for calling.
Hey, Larry. I left a message yesterday about the California, the homeless issue, and how, that guy that was so rude to you, leaving a message about how, you were not talking about the people that are imported, homeless people that are imported. So before I called, I did a quick Google search. I don't like Google, but I use it. And there's a political fact article from June 28th, 2018 by a man named Chris Nicholas, and the article's entitled "Dispelling California's Homelessness." And the very first myth at the top is California's homeless are from elsewhere and move here for the mild weather and social services. And it actually says the reality is that 75% of the homeless people in Los Angeles County have lived there over 20 years.
So that means 25% or not. That's a lot. Dirty Harry Mayer now. Up next, I'm Larry Elder.
Trending now on The Hugh Hewitt Show.
It occurs that today, when we're talking, 22 of the 25 ranked colleges in national football by the AP are in red states. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. And in some of those 25 that are in purple states, like Penn State, are in the red part of the purple state. Only Oregon and San Diego State are in blue states. Do you have a theory? I do, as to why college football succeeds in red states far beyond the way it succeeds in blue states today?
Well, I think it represents this. It doesn't, and it's unlike pro football, which has become performance woke art. I think a lot of people in these places incorporate going out to a Saturday football game as in the same sense as 4th of July or standing for the national anthem or singing God Bless America. It's a festive public ritual for red state America, and in a way that pro sports used to be, but now the NBA or the NFL, even Major League Baseball, has forfeited that. It's become a Hollywood-centric or celebrity-centric or New York-centric sport. So I think and actually their popularity is increasing as a result that people innately like sports, but they're shifting from pro sports, I think, to what you talk about.
Well, I also want to add to your assessment. When you think about this, the red states are least amenable to woke college politics.
You're generally correct, because especially the Board of Regents or the overseers, they come from business, they come from all walks of life, and they just don't put up with it.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
So why?
Testimony, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
That was before the
Don't
testimony.
get brazen with me. You knew very well. You know very well that an attorney can't go into these types of areas when the judge has already ruled without asking outside the presence of the jury to do so. So don't give me that. That's number one.
I have to tell you, I haven't sat in front of a lot of judges in real time. I did it once for a speeding ticket in my life. I have watched many trials on TV, real ones. I don't think I've ever seen a judge as pissed as that. He actually looked, if you weren't watching on the video, he looked infuriated. He was jumping up in his seat and he said, "Don't get brazen with me," to the deputy district attorney. Look, predictions, it's a mug's game. But right now, based upon how the judge is responding to the way that this evil bunch of hyenas are trying to make... the fact of the matter of this, Rittenhouse killed 2 people. Both of them were criminals. One of them had just been released from jail for doing what? Raping young boys. If it were up to me, that would be a death penalty automatic in America. Rape a child, death. End of story. That's the reason nations create capital punishment. He got out, which is just so understanding and empathetic of us. He threatened people all day, and then he used force and threatened Kyle Rittenhouse.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe today at rumble.com.
Streaming on Salem Now.
Obama tore this country down. No one stood up to him. Nobody. Because he was black. You need to wake up.
You was your house nigga. I didn't call you a nigga.
Oh, okay. That's a big difference.
You're Uncle Tom.
And Uncle Tom is somebody who has sold out by embracing the white man.
Uncle Tom,
Bedwench,
bootlicker,
black white supremacist,
chucking and jiving,
house Negro,
coon,
Uncle Tom,
coon.
I
have a coon award over there. Most black people don't believe that other blacks can be independent, free thinkers.
I believe the legacy and the ancestry of black Americans is being insulted every single day. I will not pretend to be a victim in this country. I know that that makes many people on the left uncomfortable.
The liberal will try to control a black person through the concept of racism because they know that we are very proud, emotional people.
Look for Salem Now in the App Store or go to salemnow.com. Streaming on Salem Now.
You called your son. You personally promised him you would be here.
Lucas, I don't know how to help you.
Your daddy loves you. You gotta know it, pal.
Prayer is a powerful thing, Ethan. It really does work, if you believe.
What reason does he have to care about some guy who's supposed to be his dad, but he's never around? I can't do it again. I'm not ready for this, man.
I'm done with you.
We all deserve a second chance, right, Ethan?
Look for Salem Now in the App Store or go to salemnow.com.
The Pilgrims. They were poor. They were outcasts. They were enemies of the state for their refusal to submit to the Church of England.
The Mayflower was a cargo ship, but the most precious cargo that was carried across the Atlantic were the ideas in the hearts of the Pilgrims that were drawn from the Bible.
Not only did they start self-rule, they started free trade, capitalism, land ownership, all in 10 years with 51 people.
Look for Salem Now in the App Store or go to salemnow.com. Streaming on Salem Now.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Next hour, we will be playing Can You Beat Kirk? The categories this week are This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives. So if you think you're strong in This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas music, movies, and fictional detectives, you may want to give us a call in the third hour at 888-971-7243. That's 888-971-7243. And we will also be playing Phonabro. Yesterday's zip poll question, have you been a victim of a crime while outdoors in the last year? Only 7% of you said yes, 93% of you said no, but 7% a boatload. 7%. The one for tonight, we'll go over the results on Monday. If you had a choice not to wear a mask while on an airplane, would you wear a mask anyway, yes or no? In order to participate, you must be a member of the Zip community. Go to your app store, download the Zip poll by searching under Zip Poll USA, and be sure and use my code SAGE. And this evening, I'm going to be on the Hannity Show again at 6:45 with a guest host. I'm going to be discussing how the NFL is being hammered by the police because the NFL is funding all sorts of defund the police movements. And the police points out that at stadiums you find cops there to protect fans and players. You want us to defund the police, so should we defund the police and security that you find at stadiums? And also the mayor of San Francisco, after last year, divesting the police department of some $120 million in funds, now says she's going to clean up the, quote, nasty streets, close quote, of New York. All of that and more, 888-971-SAGE. Now, many of you have talked about the debate that I had in 2016 before the election with a left-wing host named Roland Martin. He used to work for CNN as a pundit, and now he's on YouTube with his show. I think it's a daily show. And so he came out to Inglewood, black church, full audience. I would say 95% of them were hostile to the great Eldersky, but I didn't care that I was on hostile grounds. And I went to the debate, and we had a very lengthy debate.
For crying out loud, Roland, we have a binary choice, a choice between Hillary Clinton and a choice between Donald Trump. And don't get me started on Hillary's character. This is a woman who maligned all of her husband's accusers. A woman named Juanita Broderick claimed she was raped by Bill Clinton, and 2 weeks after the alleged rape said that Hillary verbally intimidated her. There are at least two well-regarded books, one called Hell to Pay and one called No One Left to Lie To, that describe Hillary hiring private detectives and getting lawyers to dig up dirt on her husband's accusers, knowing full well that she and he had a deal that he could do whatever he wanted, all to malign the accusers so that the Democratic Party were able to get votes. And don't get me started on Bill Clinton. That's today. He is still a serial cheater. Colin Powell said he's still blanking bimbos. And when Bill Clinton enters the room, he gets a standing ovation. You are full of hypocrisy. You love Bill Clinton.
Actually,
you love JFK. You love Bobby Kennedy.
Actually,
you love Jesse. But Donald Trump is too immoral to be president?
Actually,
outrageous hypocrisy.
Larry, as somebody who called that out too, see, that's where you're missing this. See, I'm willing to call that out because, see, I don't subscribe to a party. I don't subscribe to an ideology.
Okay.
As a man of God.
Of course you do.
No, actually, Larry, you're wrong. Because, see, you're looking at somebody, Larry, who's voted for Republicans for president and Democrats. No. See, you're also looking at somebody, Larry, who understands. Larry?
When's the last Republican you voted for?
Last one time?
Yeah.
No, hold up. Last one? Governor John Kasich in the Texas Republican primary this year.
Last time you voted?
Gentlemen.
Let me finish.
How quiet did you just get? This year, Larry. This year,
last time you voted for a Republican
primary. See, I thought so. See, you didn't expect that.
Mr. Martin.
You didn't expect that response,
we have to move on to the next question. Along the same lines, however, in the past 24 hours, WikiLeaks released a trove of emails apparently hacked from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, unleashing thousands of messages that reveal for the first time excerpts of Clinton's paid speeches. In addition, Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email server continues to plague her presidential campaign. Her statements have been found to be inconsistent with respect to her use of that private server, her handling of classified information, and her use of multiple devices. The following compares her statements to the FBI Director James Comey's findings. Take a look.
Secretary Clinton said she never sent or received any classified information over her private email. Was that true?
Can't hear.
Our investigation found that there was classified information sent.
So it was not true?
Right. That's what I said.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for a little shorter answer so you and I are not here quite as long. Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails either sent or received. Was that true?
That's not true. There were a small number of portion markings on, I think, 3 of the documents.
Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true?
There was classified material emailed.
Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true?
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
Mr. Elder, this question is for you. Can Secretary Clinton's judgment be trusted as President of the United States?
No, it can't be trusted, and it kind of makes what Donald Trump said rather trivial, doesn't it? Here is a woman who has not, this is not an email scandal, this is a national security scandal. She held a private server in the basement of her home. She sent and she received classified information. James Comey said there were several attempts to hack her server, and if her server was not hacked, the server of the people to whom she sent the email was hacked. So sources and methods and practices were very likely put into the hands of our adversaries and jeopardized national security. She lied and said she never sent or received classified information. She did. She also sent and received classified information that was marked as such. And even if that weren't true, when she became Secretary of State, she signed a disclosure agreement, a non-disclosure agreement, and on it it says classified information can be marked or not marked. It's about content. And when you send an email that talks about drone strikes and where they take place, any moron ought to know that's classified. She lied to the nation. She subjected the nation to exposing national security secrets, and she should have been indicted, and most Americans believe that she should have been indicted.
We talked about Trump and Roland Martin's assertion that Trump has, quote, no relationship with black people.
If I have to trust somebody to deal with criminal justice reform, I will trust Hillary Clinton before I would trust a thug Donald Trump any day.
All right, your rebuttal. I just learned we have a few more minutes actually in this segment, so your rebuttal, Mr. Elder.
What the Democratic Party ought to apologize for is what they've done to the black family. They've dropped a neutron bomb on the backs of the black family by incentivizing women to marry the government and allowing men to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. I didn't say it. Obama said a kid raised without a father is 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in jail. In 1965, 25% of black kids were born outside of wedlock. $20 trillion later, 50 years of the war on poverty, now 73% of black kids are born outside of wedlock. That's what she and her party and the whole left ought to apologize for.
Well, first of all, if we really want to do a fact check, because I recall in Chaos or Community, Where Do We Go From Here, Dr. King's book in 1967, what he said was America didn't cost them much for us to go into hotels, for us to go into parks, for us to go into swimming pools, but the reality is America did not have a war on poverty. What we did was expend significant billions of dollars in Vietnam fighting a useless war, which he opposed. Now, when you want to talk about the reality of how do we deal with this, you have Republicans today who are afraid to come talk to black people. You got Donald Trump who will not sit down with black media. And what you also, and let me be perfectly clear, show me where his criminal justice plan is. I'm still waiting. I interviewed 40 black Republicans at the Republican National Convention, and they said, wait for it. Donald Trump stood at Cleveland and said, law and order. In the last debate, when the question came up, how would you improve race relations, his response was law and order. He has no plan. He will not have a plan. And the point is this here. Donald Trump doesn't give a flip about black kids, about Hispanic kids. You know it and I know it because his plan is lacking, and Donald Trump has never had a relationship with black folks. And if you for the first time went into a black church this year, you have no business representing black folks.
You heard the cheering. I responded. We'll have that for you when I come back. 888-971-SAG. This is my 2016 debate with a left-wing talk show host named Roland Martin, who used to work for CNN. I'm Larry Elder.
Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
The image of Superman in a homosexual kiss. Because DC Comics, I guess they don't want to sell comics. And now the new Superman, the son of Kal-El, is going to come out as gay, or as Jeff pointed out, I guess he's bi, right? Whatever, who cares? But here's the bottom line. This is beautiful. I hope Media Matters is writing this one up. Hey, Zachy Poo, are you typing? How many homosexuals, how many gay people are there in society? 1%, 1.5%. Let's be generous. Let's double it. 3%! 3% of America are gay. And the gay people I know, they don't rub it in your face. It's just a thing they do. It's private. It's not an agenda they got to ram in your face. Say, look, this is me. It's the radical fraction of that 2%. The loud screamers. The identity politics harridans. So why are you trying to placate a fraction of 2%? It's dumb business sense, really. Means you're weak. It's not courageous to have a gay Superman. It's the opposite. You're a panderer. R.I.P. Commander Bond. R.I.P. Kal-El. Rest in peace, Superman.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe today at rumble.com. Trending now on the Eric Metaxas Show.
Americans still have enough fighting spirit. We're not Canada, we're not Sweden, we're not Germany.
I would say that even under lawful elections where it was close but you lost, the incoming administration would say, you know, we don't really have a mandate. Normally people would say, I've got to deal with this closely divided group. I can't do great, big, dramatic things. This group has come in and said, we are going to go as hard to the left, as hard to progressivism, as hard to socialism, as hard to communism as we can, as fast as we can. We are going to go as hard to the godless view of everything as fast as we can. We are going to empower our enemies and insult our friends. We are going to undo everything the previous administration did, not because it's necessarily good for the country, but simply for the fact that the previous administration did it. And where that really came back to bite us in the backside, and I think that where you really start to see the let's go Brandon phenomenon is following Afghanistan. Because when the previous administration had left an exit plan saying, if you follow these guidelines, make it conditions-based, we can get everybody out safely, we can get all of our allies out before we take the military out, we can get rid of our equipment, we can do all this stuff. And because Joe Biden said, I'm not doing any of it, and the only reason he said it was because the previous guy did it, and we got 13 Marines killed, and we lost a lot of Americans in the process that are still behind enemy lines even to this day. That's when America woke up and said, wait a minute, this isn't right. And you're starting to see, I think, a groundswell that is going.
Hi, Larry. This is Jerry. I'm calling from Chicago. I'd like to get your opinion on the candidate list that CNN has come out with now that they consider Joe Biden to be useless to the Democrat Party, so they're going to kick him to the curb like an old shoe. One name that wasn't on that list is Hillary Clinton. What do you think? Thinks she'll run again in 2024. And here's my blue plate special. I'm going to go with Michael Robinson to run for president. This way, Barack Obama, if Michael Robinson gets elected president, Barack Obama could be like FDR and have 4 terms. Because right now, we're in his 3rd term because he is running this country.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. I'll tell you a name that wasn't on the list. Kamala Harris. Do you really think black female voters are going to be okay with kicking her to the curb? They're the most loyal voting constituency for the Democrat Party, and they will be furious if Joe Biden decides not to run and all of a sudden the party establishment chooses somebody other than the vice president to run. So please, 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Now, the excitement is building among the Prison Fellowship volunteers. With Christmas just 8 days away, my Salem colleagues and I have now generated enough donations to bless over 20,000 children of prisoners with a life-changing Christmas experience this year. But time's running out, and there are over 1.5 million children who, through no fault of their own, have a mom or dad in prison this year. You can make an eternal difference in the lives of these children when you support Angel Tree by going to LarryElder.com and clicking on the Angel Tree banner at the very top to make a donation. Your gifts make it possible for Prison Fellowship field directors like Denise Harrison in Michigan to go into prisons and sign up parents to get personalized presents to their children by Christmas.
It was such a blessing to assist these men and women sign up their children for Angel Tree. Many of the inmates thanked us for being there and shared how they really appreciated Angel Tree. One man handed me his Angel Tree form for review and said when he gets out of prison, he'd be supporting Angel Tree because it's been a blessing to his child for 3 years.
Now, the cost to help reach one child with Angel Tree is only $25. $125 will help reach 5 children. You do the math and figure out how many kids God is calling on you to bless this Christmas with the delivery of a gift, the gospel, and connecting incarcerated parents with their children, not just at Christmas, but every day. Let's show these kids they are not forgotten. Call right now to phone in your gift, 888-206-2763, 888-206-2763, or just go to LarryElder.com and click on the Angel Tree banner at the very top. Next hour, we're going to play Can You Beat Kirk? And the categories this week are This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives. So if you think you're strong in This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives, you want to give us a call at 888-971-7243, 888-971-7243 in the final hour. Back to my debate during the 2016 election against Roland Martin. Roland Martin used to be on CNN. I watched it. You don't have to. He now has a YouTube program every day. He also is a pastor. And he was just trashing Donald Trump and claiming that Donald Trump, the candidate for the Republican Party in 2016, has no relationship with the black community.
Black kids, about Hispanic kids, you know it and I know it because his plan is lacking and Donald Trump has never had a relationship with the black folks. And if you for the first time went into a black church this year, you have no business representing black folks.
Mr. Elder.
Well done, nicely delivered, very passionate. That has zero to do with what's happened to the black family.
Don't talk to me about the black family if Donald Trump has never gone to a black church.
Mr. Martin, please.
That has zero to do with what happened to the black family. Between 1890 and 1940, based on census reports, a black kid was more likely than a white kid to be married to 2 parents. And even under slavery, when marriage was illegal, a black kid was more likely than today to be born under a roof with his biological mother and biological father. The Democratic Party...
Was Hillary there in 1840?
May I finish?
Was Hillary there?
May I finish?
Okay, I'm just checking.
The Democratic Party has incentivized women to marry the government and allowed men to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. That is the #1 social problem in the black community. It is the #1 social problem in America. And all you want to do is continue the same policies that have gotten us in this situation.
We talked about Jim Crow laws of the past and to what extent they play a part right now.
Somebody should inform you, Roland, that slavery ended in 1865.
Oh,
it's been 100...
No, hold up.
Slavery did
Mr. Martin,
that
Mr.
year
Martin,
because the
Mr.
13th
Martin,
Amendment
he
still has
rebuttal.
slavery
Mr.
in
Martin,
it.
he has the rebuttal. He has the rebuttal.
Well, he might want to read the 13th Amendment.
He has the rebuttal. Thank you. Mr. Elder.
If it's still the legacy of slavery, somebody like Roland Martin needs to explain why between 1890 and 1940, black children were slightly more likely than today to be brought into a home with a nuclear intact family. It's the welfare state that started in the 60s that has done more damage to the family than Jim Crow and even slavery did.
Okay, so just in case, just clearly Larry does not want to read. This is the actual Constitution, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, abolished slavery and involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime. That's still in the 13th Amendment. Slavery actually still exists. What you don't want to admit, Larry, is that after slavery, you then have folks who imprison black people to continue slavery. What you don't want to admit is Democrats and Republicans passed something called peonage, P-E-O-N-A-G-E, which meant that you had black folks who were in prisons who were rebuilding roads and who were working for free. Peonage was later abolished. But that's why you have something called the new Jim Crow. Because what you have is with mass incarceration, you still have the targeting of black folks who are thrown in jail for no reason. You still have in locales Democrats and Republicans where poor black folks are slapped with multiple warrants for silly stuff, which the Department of Justice under Obama called out the city of Ferguson. See, I know that's a little rough for you to admit. And the reality is we are still dealing with the impact of race. You can try all you want to, talking about this period and this period with black kids. What we know is black folks have still been used to fund America.
30 seconds,
now it's
Mr.
a
Martin.
new way of doing it. So I want to know when you gonna have the guts to stand
Mr.
with
Elder,
me
your
to
quick
call
rebuttal.
out the new Jim Crow.
30 seconds, Mr. Elder, for the rebuttal.
Because maybe only stupid black men defend the new Jim Crow. Just use the name of your book.
I guess Roland Martin does not feel that he has free will, does not feel that life is a series of choices. In order to make it in America, you need to do three things. First is finish high school. Unfortunately, 50% of black kids drop out of high school, and many of those living in the inner city cannot read, write, and compute at grade level. The second thing is don't have a kid before you're 20 years old. The third thing is get married before you have that child. You do those three things, you will not be poor. You can give me all this stuff you want about Jim Crow and about slavery. The bottom line is today in America, if you're responsible, you get an education, you make good moral decisions, you will be just fine. I don't know what kind of rhetoric you're giving people, what kind of head cheese you're giving people, but to tell young people you can't make it because of a slave ship in 1690 is absurd.
Time is up, gentlemen. Time is up. We will take a brief break and return in a moment.
More when we come back. I am Larry Elder.
Trending now on The Charlie Kirk Show.
So who wins when there is a clash on the left between separate preferred activist groups? Who gets preference? Who wins? Now, on the left, they have a hierarchy. Not any different than a hierarchy that you'd have in any sort of organization. You see, when the left has a moment of disagreement or conflict, it is very important to realize that there is a structure of what matters more than something else.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube today. Trending now on The Charlie Kirk Show.
That's kind of my shtick. Traveling the country, going to high school and college campuses, talking about how we need to properly educate young people about American history, civics, the development of the character, understanding how parents should have a primary role in their children's education, trying to have young people understand that there is objective truth, educate them about metaphysics and a transcendent order and meaning. These are things that I've been warning about for years, and I don't want to say that I was ignored. That would not be fair. Conservative base always took it seriously. People considered it to be a top 10 issue.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on The Mike Gallagher Show.
I also have a view that the withdrawal of those forces would lead inevitably to the collapse of the Afghan military forces and eventually the Afghan government.
Well, you were right, and it took 11 days for the Taliban to take over Afghanistan. Have you seen some of the images coming out of Afghanistan, by the way? They're real pleasant. Bodies being hung from overpasses, people being executed in the street, an Afghan soldier led out into the street and just shot dead. The Taliban walking around with these giant whips and they're hitting women over the backs. Here's Secretary Austin also contradicting Biden and exposing Joe Biden for the bald-faced lie, the bald-faced lie he told the American people.
It's a simple question, Secretary Austin. He said no senior military leader advised him to leave a small troop presence behind. Is that true or not? Did these officer and General Miller's recommendations get to the president personally?
Their input was received by the president and considered by the president for sure. In terms of what they specifically recommended, Senator, as they just said, they're not going to provide what they recommended in confidence.
What a crap storm. What a
Hey, Larry, this is Ryan from Southern California. First, I want to say God bless. Thank you so much for your radio show, just, giving the facts, even though it's sometimes blunt. That's what I think we need. I just want to comment about, what I think is wrong and what's going on with today's generation that's coming up. It's exactly as you said. There's an overinflated sense of entitlement, entitlement to respect and entitlement to goods and things that they haven't even earned. And there's an underdeveloped sense of personal responsibility where people are expecting respect without giving it. And I was taught and raised to get respect, you got to give respect. And I think that's exactly what's happening right now. Anyways, thank you so much for your show. Keep up the good work. Again, God bless and Merry Christmas.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Later on, we're going to talk about the nouveau Dirty Harry mayor of San Francisco, who just last year moved $120 million away from the police department, but now there's been a rise in crime, and all of a sudden, she's war on crime. Also, next hour, we're going to be playing Can You Beat Kirk? 888-971-SAGE if you'd like to join. We're also going to be playing, of course, Phonabro. This is continuation of my debate in 2016 before the election against Roland Martin. He is a left-wing talk show host on YouTube. He is a pastor. He formerly was an analyst or a pundit on CNN. We then started talking about his criticism of the police.
Mr. Elder, is the issue of officer-involved shootings in the black community and the call for criminal justice something that should be studied by a nonpartisan commission, or is this a community issue to be solved at the local level in your view?
The Black Lives Matter movement is the biggest fraud that's been perpetuated on this country and on the black community since the O.J. Simpson case. According to Washington Post, there were 965 people who were killed by the police last year. 500 of them are white. I defy you to name one. 250 of them were black. According to the Center for Disease Control, over the past 45 years, police shootings against blacks have been down 75%, while police shootings against whites have flatlined. Here's the problem. 25% of those shot by the police are black. That's because there is a great deal of violence going on in the inner city. A young black man is 7 times more likely to be victimized by homicide than a young white man. The number one preventable cause of death in the white community are car accidents. The number one preventable cause of death in the black community is homicide, generally at the hands of another black person. What's going on in the inner city is a complete and total breakdown because of people like Mr. Martin, who are telling officers that when you do your job, you're a racist. So they're pulling back, and as a result, you're seeing crime go up in Baltimore, crime going up in Chicago, crime going up in St. Louis, and the victims of that crime are usually the same black people that people like Mr. Martin claim to care about. If you really care, you'd be talking about these individuals who are bad. And from time to time, there's a bad shooting, but it's rare. It's rare for the cops to kill anybody. 250 black people were killed last year. 400 Americans were injured by lightning. If the media covered people who were injured by lightning the way they cover black people killed by cops, I wouldn't leave the house in the rain.
Let's take a look real quick. Let's take a look at some of what. Wait. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what. I'll give you a chance to respond. Let's take a look at some of what Mr. Elder is referring to in this recent Black Lives Matter march.
We then talked about immigration reform.
Question to you, Mr. Elder. Former President Clinton's statement appears to mirror the opposition to Secretary Clinton's current position on illegal immigration. Do you, one, believe that illegal immigration has an adverse impact on working class Americans as President Clinton did? And can you also say what you believe Trump means by deportation task force?
Well, it wasn't just Bill Clinton who said that in his 1995 State of the Union speech. 2 years earlier, Harry Reid on the floor of the Senate said the same thing after the first bombing of the World Trade Center. They talked about the borders being porous, putting more Border Patrol agents. They talked about dealing with people who overstay their visas. They talked about the catch and release policy. They also talked about people coming to the country illegally having a child, and that child automatically be an American citizen. They were Trump before Trump. Now all of a sudden the same kind of arguments are racist. They also use the term illegal alien, which is now a term that you never hear on CNN. They use the term undocumented worker, which is nowhere in the code. Yes, illegal immigration puts downward pressure on jobs and downward pressure on wages. Cesar Chavez was not a civil rights leader. He was a union leader, the founder of the United Farm Workers. He hated illegal immigration and knew that it threatened the jobs of his member unions and knew that it put downward pressure on wages, and worked with the immigration to stop illegal immigration. There's an economist named George Borjas from Harvard, probably has done more work than probably any other economist on the effect of legal and illegal immigration, and he has said that illegal immigration threatens jobs and puts downward pressure on wages. My dad used to clean toilets when I was a kid. My little brother once got a job at a car wash in the inner city. You don't find these jobs being done by Americans anymore. They're often done by illegal aliens. And that is exactly what Donald Trump wants to do. Regarding the deportation force, he's already backed away from that. What he said he wants to do is put more resources on the border, whether it's a wall, whether it's a barrier, whether it's more Border Patrol agents, do something about catch and release, go after the serious criminal illegal aliens, and do something about visa overstays, and then deal with the other 15 million or so who are here in some sort of way. That's the order in which he wants to do it, and I'm in favor of that. What Hillary wants to do is have amnesty, have a march towards more citizens, and I believe that if 4 out of 5 of these new citizens would vote Republican, the border would be sailed faster than it clams behind.
3-week quick start, $19.95, about $1 a day to see if we can get you out of pain. After that, we're talking about less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day to stay out of pain. Do you have shoulder, back, neck, hip, foot, knee pain from exercise or just getting older? Consider the 3-week quick start. 100% drug-free ingredients. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com. 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
Trending now on the Mike Gallagher Show.
To hear the White House press secretary blame Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott and other Republican governors for playing politics by trying to preserve jobs, not let people get fired over the vaccine mandate? What's the political gain for a governor to stand up to a tyrannical machine and say, you're not going to fire people because they don't want to put a medicine in their arm? You can't try to draw that line in the sand and say, well, the government shouldn't do it, but businesses can. We're either going to fire people over a personal medical decision or we're not. You're splitting hairs when you say, well, now the government, Gary Kelly flat out said, we don't want to do this at Southwest Airlines. He knows that this is a work stoppage. What's happened in Southwest, it isn't weather. They're not having any computer glitches. They got people working who aren't going to show up, and they're going to try to send Southwest a message. And Gary Kelly, the CEO of Southwest, admitted it by saying, we don't want this. Biden's making us do it. The government's making us do it. These zealots in charge, the kind of tyrannical governors we saw putting lines in the Home Depot, and you can go to the garden section, but you can't go to the towel section, and all this crap. Put a mask on to walk to your table and take the mask off when you sit at the table. Like you can't spread COVID at the table, but you can when you're walking to the men's room. Are you kidding me? Would you stop it? And worst of all, forcing people to take a vaccine or get fired.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
The image of Superman in a
Hey, Larry, this is Bill, and just wanted to say, in case you're wondering about whether or not to run again, I'll tell you what, just take a look at what Youngkin did and the lieutenant governor in Virginia and how that energized the base and how that's going to influence taking over the House again. So anyway, that is just something I just wanted to let you know or to suggest to you. If you did that and we won California, wouldn't that be amazing for the entire country, the entire nation, and also for us winning the House and Senate and keeping it? So I appreciate it, Larry. Thank you, and enjoy listening to you every day.
It is under consideration. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Next hour, we will be playing Can You Beat Kirk and Phone a Bro. More on that in due course. Also going to be on the Hannity Show at 6:45, talking about the mayor of San Francisco, who now says she wants to clean up the, quote, nasty streets, close quote, of her city. We're also going to talk about Obama's musical playlist of 2021. Had some songs that celebrated Satan. What's up with that? Now, if you like listening to my show, you're going to love watching it. Also on the SalemNewsChannel.com or the app with the same name that you can get at the Apple or Android store, or watch us on Roku. Just type Salem News Channel into the search bar. Listen to us. Watch us all day long. Come check us out. We are the antidote to the mainstream media. SalemNewsChannel.com. That's SalemNewsChannel.com.
Because the income inequality gap is widening because the top 1% has been able to generate upwards of 93% of all gains in the past decade. Now you tell me, how is that fair?
Mr. Elder?
the minimum wage should be completely and totally eliminated. At one point in this country, a black teenager was more likely to have a job than a white teenager. The first minimum wage was in 1938. They kept jacking it up, and little by little, black teenagers got supplanted by white teenagers. The minimum wage that the Democrats want is $15 an hour. Even Jared Bernstein, who is Joe Biden's economist, says that $15 an hour would mean that people would lose their jobs. What minimum wages do is make it harder and harder for people with unskilled labor to be able to offer their labor for less money. That's what happened in South Africa. The apartheid government enacted a minimum wage to displace black workers from getting jobs. And what Roland Martin is advocating is what racists have done over the years to price black people out of the labor market by saying, I don't care how little you're willing to work, you're not going to get a job, we're going to hire a white person. Milton Friedman, who is a Nobel laureate, said that the minimum wage laws are perhaps the most anti-black laws on the statute books. It's remarkable that people on the left now are embracing the very same thing that racists have traditionally used to shut out black people from taking their jobs.
Actually, the biggest anti-labor law for black folks was slavery. And so when you say abandon the minimum wage, so what you're saying is you want folks to be able to go for a job, and the employer says, nah, I'm gonna pay you $2 an hour. That's it. You fine with that?
You want me to answer that?
Are you fine with that?
May I answer?
That's a question. That's a question to you.
Oh, thank you. It's remarkable that you make two different arguments about employers. You think
No. I actually asked you a question.
You think
are you fine if an employer says, I'm going to pay you $2 an hour, are you fine with that? Yes or no?
You think employers are so greedy that they'll hire somebody for $2 an hour and let me finish. He thinks employers are so greedy they'll hire somebody at $2 an hour. On the other hand, may I finish? On the other hand, he wants equal pay. The reason he wants equal pay is because the argument is that women are working for 77 cents on the dollar doing exactly the same work that men do. Now, why wouldn't the same employer fire all the men, hire women, and pocket the difference if they're greedy? Those are two inconsistent arguments that you're making. The second one is name somebody who's
called a lawsuit.
Name somebody who's going to work for $2 an hour. Name somebody. Name somebody.
Larry,
$2 an hour?
Larry, we just had a discussion about cheap labor of illegal immigrants.
$2 an hour?
Larry, if
$2
there is
an hour?
somebody right now getting zero, and an employer says, I'm going to give you $2. That person sitting there saying, I got nothing right now, and he going to offer me $2. No, I'm going to turn down $2 and stay with nothing. That person will fill those jobs. Larry, for you to say, I'm just going to leave it up to them, here's the deal. If you have talented people, that employer will say, no, I'm going to pay you more to keep you versus you going across the street. But you have to have some minimum. Hell, the NFL has a minimum salary. The NBA has a minimum salary. But again, you act like that's not going to happen. I do not trust big business in America to say no minimum wage. No, I don't trust them. No.
The New York Times had an editorial in 1987. The headline was, the ideal minimum wage, 0.00. One of the most prosperous areas of the world is Hong Kong. Hong Kong used to be a rock when Great Britain controlled it. They had nothing. They have no natural resources. They had no minimum wages. Within about 2 generations, on a per capita basis, they were one of the wealthiest countries in the world. It is a lie that you need to have a minimum wage in order for a country to be prosperous. It's a lie.
We talked about Hillary referring to Trump supporters as the basket of deplorables, half of them, she said.
To now turn our attention to some of the more controversial statements made by the presidential candidates. Although she later apologized, here is what Secretary Clinton called one half of Donald Trump supporters.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Mr. Martin, in 2012, Mitt Romney said, quote, 47% of Americans who believe they are victims believe they are entitled to health care, food, and housing and will vote for President Obama no matter what. These are the people who pay no income tax, end quote. That comment haunted Mr. Romney and his campaign. Should Secretary Clinton's calling one half of Trump supporters deplorable rise to the level of offense as Mr. Romney's remarks?
NBC.
We'll finish this on the other side. We also then talked about Roland Martin saying that I'm not really black because I disagree with him. I was not amused. All of that and more, and the police not happy with the NFL for funding groups that want to defund the police. The police have pointed out that there's a great deal of security at the stadiums when these NFL players play, including providing security for them. And Barack Obama's 2021 playlist has songs that praise Satan. All of that and more. 3-week quick start, only $19.95. That is less than $1 a day to see if we can get you out of pain. After that, less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day to stay out of pain. If you've got back, shoulder, neck, hip, foot, knee pain from exercise or just getting older, consider ordering the 3-week quick start. Discounted to only $19.95. The docs who designed Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, each of which are 100% drug-free to deal with pain from a different metabolic pathway. Just go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. That's 800-500-8384.
Family can pick you up every time you fall.
Every time I take one step forward.
When Wright came in this morning, he wants to fight you.
No one expected this out of him.
Look for Salem Now in the App Store or go to salemnow.com.
Trending now on The Larry Elder Show.
So anyway, you start with that notion of 15,000 people under that bridge in Del Rio. 15,000, okay? These are the numbers released by DHS. Number returned to Haiti, 1,401. Number in Customs and Border Patrol custody, 3,206. Number remaining at the bridge in Del Rio, according to DHS, 3,881. So, I'm sorry, those 3 numbers that I just gave you are about 8,500. Where's the other 8,000? Where are they? And the answer might be St. Louis. That might be in the suburbs of Dallas and Fort Worth, right outside my door. Because this.
Hey, Larry. Phil from Philly. Merry Christmas. I know that the pretendent was going to Kentucky to offer people some hope, and he's not going to abandon them, and he's going to help them. I want to know what the people in Afghanistan, the Americans that he abandoned, think of that. I mean, I don't know how this guy can look himself in the mirror in the morning, and why aren't we talking about that anymore? There are Americans in Afghanistan right now that are captive trying to get out of there, and he abandoned them.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Next hour, we will be playing Can You Beat Kirk? You might want to call right now. The categories are This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives. So if you think you're strong in This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives, give us a call at 888-971-7243, 888-971-7243.
Deplorable rise to the level of offense as Mr. Romney's remarks.
NBC News survey monkey poll done in February. 2/3 of Trump supporters had an unfavorable view of American Muslims. Fact. 87% wanted to ban Muslims from entering the U.S. Fact. A Reuters Ipsos poll from June. 58% of Trump supporters had an unfavorable view of Muslims. Fact. 52.
By the way, as he's rattling off these things, he's using his smartphone and reading from it. I didn't read from anything. He was holding it up and reading it. He did it several times. It should have been outlawed. The debate moderator should have said something, but she said nothing. He literally was reading from his smartphone.
Percent oppose rights for LGBT Americans. Fact. 50% of Trump backers, 50%, saw blacks as violent and criminals. Fact. 40% said blacks were lazy and rude. Fact. Public policy poll in May. 65% of Trump supporters say President Obama is a secret Muslim. Fact. 59% say Obama was not born in the U.S. Fact. Pew Research Center poll. 69% of Trump supporters say immigrants are a burden to America. Fact.
Again, all of this he's reading from his smartphone.
50% say immigrants will commit serious crimes. Fact. She said half are deplorables. I gave you 10 polls. Only one was other 50%. Sounds like she was right.
Mr. Elder, your response?
There was a poll in the Washington Post blog where Democrats were asked whether or not Obama is a Christian at heart. The majority said no. They thought he was spiritual or agnostic or atheist or Muslim. You add it all up, the majority of Democrats did not believe Obama was a Christian. Are they racist?
I dropped the mic.
Mr. Martin.
We'll have his response on the other side. 888-971-SAGE. Call right now to play Can You Beat Kirk? 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. Do not leave town.
family can pick you up every time you fall.
Every time I take one step forward.
Roland Martin came in this morning. He wants to fight you.
No one expected this out of him.
Look for Salem Now in the App Store or go to salemnow.com.
Trending now on The Larry Elder Show.
So anyway, you start with that notion of 15,000 people under that bridge in Del Rio. 15,000, okay? These are the numbers released by DHS. Number returned to Haiti, 1,401. Number in Customs and Border Patrol custody, 3,206. Number remaining at the bridge in Del Rio, according to DHS, 3,881. So, I'm sorry, those three numbers that I just gave you are about 8,500. Where's the other 8,000? Where are they? And the answer might be St. Louis. That might be in the suburbs of Dallas and Fort Worth, right outside my door. Because this is the plan. Do not let yourself be caught walking around saying This Biden-Harris administration, they're just inept. They don't have a plan. Oh, yes, they do. Huge waves of a needy underclass pouring across our border so that you instantly need far more social services, far more government spending, because that is the crack pipe of the left. And then ultimately, all of these people are going to vanish into the tapestry of America, where they will eventually be normalized and ultimately, of course, energized for decades of grateful Democrat voting.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on the Dennis Prager Show.
It's like a ripple throughout society. We've got Dr. Fauci hectoring everybody who's had COVID who didn't get a vaccination, even though they have immunity. But I'm talking about not the people who refuse to be vaxxed, but the people who've had it and yet we have 2 million people scheduled to come across the border in the fiscal year, and he's absolutely silent about it.
That's right.
He can't even utter the word.
Well, it's like the silence of the unmasked demonstrators. The medical profession said that's fine because it's
all 1,200 of them. I remember that well.
That's right.
And it's so what we're doing is we're creating not just exemptions for illegal aliens, but we're elevating them in some sense. We're not asking them to follow the law. We're not asking
right.
them to
So I want to know the
vaccinated.
original sin here. Is the original sin Ted Kennedy? Is the original sin the inability of the World War II generation to pass on American values? What's the original sin?
I think it's two things. It was the affluence and the leisure created by the 6%, just enormous affluence that was created, 6% a year GDP in the 50s and 60s, and we created the most leisured and affluent society, and it created certain expectations about human nature that create a guy like Ted Kennedy and create his idea that we're so wealthy, we're so powerful, we're so liberal, we're so wonderful that we're going to extend this and feel so good about ourselves and start deliberately having a policy where we don't apply the old rules of assimilation and integration or border enforcement.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on the Larry Elder Show.
Because the left is trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out, again, who's going to comply. Are you going to comply? Who's going to resist? Are you going to be willing to resist? How much power and coercion, this is what the left is trying to figure out, will it take to break the rest of us, the nonconformists? And who are the reliable, useful idiots? And sadly, there's plenty of those in the media. I've been telling you time and time again, we can't trust our institutions, the media being one of them. If you want to know what the left is thinking, you can look at the New York Times. You can figure out the angles they're coming from. There's other places, Vox, Slate, so on, etc. You can figure out, and you should know where they're coming from. Quite frankly, Washington Post is another one. Huffington Post is another one, and you can figure out where the left is coming from.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on the Mike Gallagher Show.
To hear the White House press secretary blame Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott and other Republican governors for playing politics by trying to preserve jobs, not let people get fired over the vaccine mandate. What's the political gain for a governor to stand up to a tyrannical machine and say, you're not going to fire people because they don't want to put a medicine in their arm? You can't try to draw that line in the sand and say, well, the government shouldn't do it, but businesses can. We're either going to fire people over a personal medical decision or we're not. You're splitting hairs when you say, well, now the government, Gary Kelly flat out said, we don't want to do this at Southwest Airlines. He knows that this is a work stoppage. What's happened in Southwest, it isn't weather. They're not having any computer glitches. They got people working who aren't going to show up, and they're going to try to send Southwest a message. And Gary Kelly, the CEO of Southwest, admitted it.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Going to be on the Hannity Show. We'll be talking about the nouveau Dirty Harry mayor of San Francisco. And next segment, we will be playing Can You Beat Kirk? It'll be Tony from San Francisco squaring off against Jason from South Carolina. So stick around for that. And also later on in the hour, we will be playing Phone-a-Bro. And we need a contestant to go up against Spencer from Minneapolis. So call right now, 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243 to go against Spencer when we play Phone-a-Bro later on in the hour. I have been playing excerpts from my 2016 debate, this is before the election, against a left-wing pastor named Roland Martin, who used to be a pundit on CNN. He now has a show on YouTube. This was at a Baptist church in Inglewood. It was a full house, as you could hear, and I would say 90 to 95% of them were hostile to me. No matter what brain-dead thing my opponent said, they cheered. No matter what thing I said, they sat in silence. And also the moderator was also biased, in my opinion. So it was Elder against a whole lot of people. Therefore, it was a fair fight. And for what it's worth, when the whole debate was over, the pastor of the church came up to me and he said, "You kicked his you-know-what."
Mr. Martin.
When you have white nationalists who are leading robocalls for Donald Trump, when you have white nationalists who became a delegate for Donald Trump, when you have white nationalists who are salivating at Donald Trump becoming president, when you have Donald Trump who somehow, I don't know who David Duke is, and then it took him a while to condemn David Duke. If you have a candidate for president where white nationalists can't wait for him to be in the White House, that's somebody who has no business in the White House.
Mr. Elder, quick response, and then we have to move on.
He dropped his mic.
Roland, you're here in California. California has a KKK chapter.
I'm just checking.
The grand dragon of the KKK is a Hillary supporter.
I dropped my mic.
Gentlemen, on that note,
Then Mr. Martin suggested that I'm not really black.
Mr. Martin, the question is...
Come on, find your blackness somewhere.
Name the name.
The question is to Mr. Martin.
Name the name of the person that says that.
I will give you a chance to respond.
So because I disagree with you, I'm not black?
Mr. Martin.
That's juvenile. That's asinine.
Find your blackness somewhere today where you say, who's they? You know who they are.
Gentlemen.
Come on.
Find my blackness because I disagree with you?
The question to
find
Mr.
your
Martin.
blackness in facts.
You lectured that gentleman over there for cursing, and you're telling me I'm not black because I disagree with you?
Go right ahead. No, because
I'm not black because I disagree with you?
You're playing
my problem? Are you a shrink now?
Larry, you're playing
a psychiatrist now?
And game, recognized game.
I'd like to address Roland Martin telling me to find my blackness. This is one of the big problems in the black community. There are scholars, giants, named Thomas Sowell, named Walter Williams. And every year, Ebony Magazine has something called the 100 plus most influential Americans. David Mamet, the playwright who wrote Glengarry Glen Ross, credits Walter Williams and Tom Sowell with changing him from a brain-dead liberal. Every year in Ebony, they never mention Thomas Sowell, they never mention Walter Williams, despite the fact that Thomas Sowell has written about 40 books. Walter Williams was the chair of the George Mason Economics Department. Walter Williams is in about 100 newspapers columns, and Thomas Sowell's in about 300, and most black people don't even know who they are because as far as a lot of black people are concerned, they're not black enough, so therefore we're going to ignore you and we're going to silence you. The problem we're having in the black community is if I am right that there's a relationship between the welfare state and the demise of the black family, if I am right that the Democrats do not want parents to have a choice in education, if I am right that laws like minimum wages and taxing job creators means that there's higher unemployment, we need to have at least a discussion about it. And if I want to have a discussion about it, how come I'm no longer black?
Mr. Martin, is there room? Wait a minute. Wait. No, wait. You're going to answer it. Is there room in the Democratic Party? Is there room in black media for diversity of thought within black America?
First of all,
you're not going to find any other black host who's had more black conservatives on his show than mine. Every day. Now, let me say this here.
Then apologize for saying find your blackness.
Let me
apologize for that.
For what?
For saying find your blackness.
No,
Is there a black standard?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
No, here's what it means.
What does that mean?
Hold up, I'm gonna answer your question. Here's what it means. What it means is when you sit on a nationally televised show and then frame the issue of race in America as only being Republicans were our saviors and Democrats were our oppressors, when you are deliberately ignoring clear,
when I have a different point of view, I'm not black.
Larry,
I can't frame things the way I want to without being something other than black.
Larry,
it's insulting. It's insulting. It's degrading. And that's why we have problems in the city. You don't want to have a discussion about what's going on with the family. You don't want to have a discussion about the relationship between welfare and the demise of the black family. And if you do, I'm not black. It's insulting. It's insulting.
Please finish your thought, Mr. Martin. Please finish your thought.
I told you.
Apologize.
Larry, I told you.
Apologize.
I told you. Larry, I told you. When you went on this long litany of Democrats found the KKK and Democrats, Larry,
they did.
Larry, let me finish. You said Democrats found the KKK.
They did.
And Lincoln freed the slaves.
He did.
But you conveniently skipped over the Great Compromise of 1877. You conveniently skipped over Hoover. You conveniently skipped over his comments about making a party lily white. So the problem I have is this. See, Larry, I'm willing to call out Democrats and Republicans. You omit the nastiness of the GOP to only denigrate Democrats. And what I'm saying is, if you are unwilling to call out bigotry in both parties because you getting paid by one, damn it, that's blackness. That's why.
Gentlemen,
but Larry,
that's
I'm gonna call out both of them.
That's childish.
Larry,
gentlemen,
I'm calling out both.
I think we should rein
That's
this
childish.
in.
It's juvenile.
I'm calling out both.
Gentlemen, I think we should rein
So
in.
if I disagree with you, I'm not black.
I know, Larry.
Gentlemen,
don't
That's
skip.
just silly.
Well, that concludes the excerpt from that debate. By the way, when I ran, Michael Smerconish on CNN referred to me as a Trump Republican. I then did his radio show. Here's what happened.
Larry, I'm not taking anything. Look, I respect you. You are the man in the arena. You know, a lot of us sit around and we talk about it. You answered the bell, and I respect you for that. And I just want to say this on my own radio program. I really didn't intend it as a slight. I regret the way I introduced you on CNN. It was not on my part seeking to pin you that way.
Michael, I know
I should have done it. I should have done it differently. But here's the hard question that I want to ask you.
Michael, I know you well enough to know you weren't trying to pin me. My point is, you're an independent guy. You're a fair-minded guy. Imagine how the rest of the media treated me. They would routinely say this thing on purpose. I was asked over and over again, do I think the 2020 election was stolen? Will Stephen Miller have a position in my cabinet? What do I think about abortion? None of those issues had anything to do with why Californians were upset with Gavin Newsom. They were upset about the crime, about the homelessness, about the way he shut down the state, about the fact that people are leaving, poor fire management, we're running out of water, for crying out loud. Farmers right now are being water rationed. And we have a poor energy grid because of the forced reliance on so-called renewables like wind and solar. This is why people were upset with Gavin Newsom, but the left kept characterizing this in ways subtle and not so subtle as a Republican takeover. It was extremely unfair to me.
We having fun yet? Anyway, Michael Smerconish apologized for introducing me at CNN as a Trump Republican. I said I am a Republican. Do Democrats vote for Hillary? Did they vote for Joe Biden? Do they call them Hillary Republicans? Democrats, rather? Do they call them Biden Democrats? It was all designed to malign me in California, because in California, about the only public figure more hated than Donald Trump is Charlie Manson, and he's dead. Coming up next, can you beat Kirk? 888-971-SAGE. I am Larry Elder.
Trending now on the Mike Gallagher Show.
Boy, the state of Florida just fined Leon County $3.5 million because they fired 14 employees.
Coercion is just totally wrong. I think it's destroying trust in public health to the extent that there was still trust left over after all the stuff that's been done. But I think it's really, really negative, and I think you're going to end up driving people away.
You know, Governor DeSantis makes a great observation about the way the mandate is driving people in the other direction. And that's why companies have got to stop the mandates. This just has to stop. This isn't working. You cannot fire people over a vaccine.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
He is America. Captain America's trying, but nah, not so much. It's Superman. That's why kids have loved him. Adults have loved. When I saw Superman, I was, 8 years old, and I saw Christopher Reeve. You believed a man could fly. And I wanted to be an American. And now I am. But they've killed it. They killed James Bond in the new movie. Sorry, guys, spoilers. I've seen it. It's crap. Don't waste your time. They killed James Bond. Dead. Gone. Because I guess what? He was too sexy? Too toxic in his masculinity? Gone! And now they've done it with the Superman franchise. I posted this yesterday. Turned my Instagram on fire. The image of Superman in a homosexual kiss. Because DC Comics, I guess they don't want to sell comics. And now the new Superman, the son of Kal-El, is going to come out as gay, or as Jeff pointed out, I guess he's bi, right?
Triple 8-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. It is time for Can You Beat Kirk? We have two contestants, Tony from San Francisco versus Jason from South Carolina. Tony called in first. Tony, you get to go first if you would like to. How you doing, Tony?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Tony, this week the categories are This Week in the News, the Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, and fictional detectives. Where do you want to start?
Okay. This week in the news.
This week in the news. All right. Tony, CEOs of two major airline companies said they doubted that masks on planes made any difference. Name the airlines they represent.
United and American.
United and American. All right, Tony, stick around. Don't go anywhere, Tony. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Jacob, you heard the question, Jacob. CEOs of two major airline companies said they doubted that masks on planes made any difference. Name the airlines they represent. You heard your opponent say American and United. What are the actual two airlines? Jacob, are you there?
American and Southwest.
American and Southwest. All right. Jacob, you have now taken control of the board. The score is 1-0, Jacob over Tony. The next four categories remaining, Jacob. The Oscars, sports, Christmas movies, fictional detectives. Where next?
Sports.
Sports. All right. This may be a toughie, so listen very carefully. In 1954, he was chosen as Sports Illustrated's first sports person of the year. In 1954, he was chosen as Sports Illustrated first sports person of the year. What is his name? $1954.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me.
The score is 1-0, Jacob over Tony. In 1954, he was chosen as Sports Illustrated's first sport person of the year.
Sports person of the year.
Mm-hmm. The first time they ever did it.
Yeah, there's no sports subject here.
I'm sorry?
No sports. No sport definition. No definement of which sport.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't answer that.
Okay, all right, not a problem. Not a problem. Don't go anywhere, Jacob. Let's go back to Tony. Tony, you're back in the game. You're down love to 1. In 1954, he was chosen as Sports Illustrated's first sports person of the year. Who am I talking about?
Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer. That would be a negatron. The answer, gentlemen, is Roger Bannister, a Brit who was the first one to run a mile under 4 minutes. He was the Sports Illustrated first sports person of the year in 1954, Roger Bannister. Jacob, you gave the last correct answer. You're still in control of the board. We have the Oscars. We have Christmas movies. We have fictional detectives left. Where next?
Christmas movies.
Christmas movies. This movie, Miracle on 34th Street, is based on this real life department store. What department store am I referring to? The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on this real life department store. What department store am I talking about, Jacob?
Macy's.
That is now 2-0 over Tony. We have two categories left: the Oscars and fictional detectives. Where next?
Detective.
Okay. Score is 2-0. Jacob, Isaac Hayes won the Oscar for Best Original Song for the movie about this fictional detective. Fictional detective. What detective am I referring to?
What was his name?
Isaac Hayes won the Oscar for the Best Original Song for the movie about this fictional detective.
James Bond. Not a detective.
No,
totally.
No. Also, not the right answer. All right, score is still love 2, Tony. Tony, let's get on the board here. Isaac Hayes won the Oscar for the Best Original Song for the movie about this fictional detective. What's the name of the detective?
The Shaft.
That is Shaft. All right. Score is now 1-2. Tony, let's just catch up now. Last category is the Oscars. Are you ready, sir?
Yep.
In 1974, a nude streaker ran behind him as this actor was presenting an Academy Award. Name the actor the streaker ran behind in 1974 as this actor was presenting an Academy Award.
Clint Eastwood. I don't know.
Clint Eastwood. All right, don't go away. Don't go away. All right, Jacob. Jacob, in 1974, he was presenting an Academy Award, and a nude streaker ran behind him. Who was the actor who was presenting the Academy Award when this happened? Jacob, you there?
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. No? Okay. Well, the answer is David Niven. But I'll tell you, you won, Jacob, 2-1.
Somebody give me an amen.
It wasn't the prettiest victory we ever had, but a victory's a victory, right? Right, Jacob?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, Jacob, you stay on the line. Tony, sorry things didn't work out for you. This week in the news, CEOs of two major airlines said they doubted that masks on planes made any difference. They represented American and Southwest. The Oscars in 1974, a nude streaker ran behind this man as he was presenting an Academy Award. This man was David Niven. Sports. 1954, he was chosen as Sports Illustrated's first sports person of the year. That would be Roger Bannister, the Brit who was the first man to run under a 4-minute mile. Christmas movies. Movie Miracle on 34th Street was based upon the real-life department store called Macy. And fictional detectives. Isaac Hayes won the Oscar for the best original song for the movie about this fictional detective. It was 1972. Shaft. John Shaft. Talking about Shaft, then we can dig it. Anyway, Jacob, well done. Stay on the line. We're going to get your information, and I'll send you a copy of my book about my father and me called Dear Father, Dear Son. 888-971-SAGE is the number. Segment after next, we're going to be playing Can You Beat Kirk? We have Spencer in Minneapolis who'll be squaring off against Brendan in Phoenix, Arizona. And I understand from my screener that Brendan is extremely confident. So, Spencer, you may have your work cut out for you. All of that and more, 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio.
Hey, good job, Larry Helder. You're doing an amazing job, and thank you for keeping up a good fight. Another point you may want to bring up there is, modern society sometimes has made it a little bit harder for fathers to get custody of their children in a lot of family courts. So, yes, there are deadbeat fathers out there, but also fathers who try, but sometimes things are statistically harder for fathers.
Absolutely. 888-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Next segment, Spencer will be squaring off against Brendan as we play Phone a Bro. Now, the excitement is building among prison fellowship volunteers with Christmas just 8 days away from today. My Salem colleagues and I have now generated enough donations to bless over 20,000 children of prisoners with a life-changing Christmas experience this year. But time's running out. And there are now over 1.5 million children who, through no fault of their own, have a mom or dad or sometimes even both in prison this year. And you'll make an eternal difference in the lives of these children when you support Angel Tree by going to LarryElder.com and clicking on the Angel Tree banner to make your donation. Your gifts make it possible for Angel Tree's fellowship field directors like Denise Harris in Michigan to make a difference by going into prisons and signing up parents to get personalized presents to their children by Christmas.
It was such a blessing to assist these men and women sign up their children for Angel Tree. Many of the inmates thanked us for being there and shared how they really appreciated Angel Tree. One man handed me his Angel Tree form for review and said when he gets out of prison, he'd be supporting Angel Tree because it's been a blessing to his child for 3 years.
Wow. The cost to help reach one child with Angel Tree is only $25, or $125 will help reach 5 children. You do the math and figure out how many kids God is willing to call you to bless this Christmas with a delivery of a gift, the gospel, and connecting incarcerated parents with their children, not just at Christmas, but every day. Let's show these kids they are not forgotten. Call right now to phone in your gift, 888-206-2763. That's 888-206-2763. Or go to my website, LarryElder.com, and you'll see the Angel Tree banner at the very top. 888-206-2763. 888-206-2763. Female athlete urging women to speak out against transgender male athletes.
Yeah, it's extremely deflating. I've experienced it 5 times, and each time I lost to a biological male. And the fact that that's still happening, that women are still losing to biological males in their own sport, shows why we need more female athletes to speak up about this. And so I just kind of want to say to the female athletes in Pennsylvania, don't let anyone silence you. Speak up. Tell the NCAA, your athletic directors, and your coaches that you want fair competition, because doing this is nowhere near as scary as it seems, and the amount of support is overwhelming.
John Kennedy, the senator, he was talking to this judicial nominee, and she would not answer his question.
So I'm going to ask it again. Maybe it's me. Do you believe that we should forgive a criminal act in the name of social justice?
Senator, I share the view that we should be unbiased, but I also share the view that our criminal justice system and our process is very individualized. So what should happen in any particular case is a matter of the process and the very specific facts in that case.
That a criminal act should be forgiven in the name of social justice?
So the outcome of any case is always highly individualized based on the process and the facts.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Thank you. I got one. I'm one for about 20. I can't vote for you. Not if you're not going to answer questions. I mean, that was embarrassing.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, the medical expert on CNN, says, yeah, vaccinated individuals can also be spreading COVID.
But just quickly to be clear, if somebody's vaccinated, are they less able to spread it? Or are they less likely to spread it?
I think,
if they're vaccinated and positive, are they less likely to spread it?
So if first of all, someone is vaccinated, I think they are less likely to become infected, but they can still become infected. If they do become infected, they can get a high viral load, high enough that they could spread it. But the window of time that occurs is going to be narrower. So again, that's a lot. You're less likely to get infected, narrower window of time of spread. But yeah, you have to think, especially with that map that I've shown you, as much virus as we're being showered in right now, you have to assume that people could potentially be spreading, which is why the testing, the ventilation, all these other things help.
When we come back, we'll be playing Phonabro. It'll be Spencer from Minneapolis squaring off against Brendan from Phoenix, Arizona. Gentlemen, do not leave town. Now, 3-week quick start, just $19.95. Less than $1 a day to see if we can get you out of pain. Then after that, we're talking about less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day for you to stay out of pain. That is why over 70% of those who order the 3-week quick start go on to order more. If you have back, shoulder, neck, hip, foot, knee pain from exercise or just getting older, consider ordering the 3-week quick start. You see, the docs who design Relief Factor believe our bodies are designed to heal. To that end, they selected 4 100% drug-free ingredients, each of which deals with pain from a different metabolic pathway. That's right, approaching pain from 4 different angles. That might very well be why so many people find such wonderful relief. Just go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. That's 800-500-8384.
Trending now on the Mike Gallagher Show.
Boy, the state of Florida just fined Leon County $3.5 million because they fired 14 employees.
Coercion is just totally wrong. I think it's destroying trust in public health to the extent that there was still trust left over after all the stuff that's been done. But I think it's really, really negative, and I think you're going to end up driving people away.
You know, Governor DeSantis makes a great observation about the way the mandate is driving people in the other direction. And that's why companies have got to stop the mandates. This just has to stop. This isn't working. You cannot fire people over a vaccine.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube and at rumble.com. Trending now on America First with Sebastian Gorka.
He is America. Captain America's trying, but nah, not so much. It's Superman. That's why kids have loved him. Adults have loved. When I saw Superman, I was, 8 years old, and I saw Christopher Reeve. You believed a man could fly. And I wanted to be an American, and now I am. But they've killed it. They killed James Bond in the new movie. Sorry, guys, spoilers. I've seen it. It's crap. Don't waste your time. They killed James Bond. Dead. Gone. Because I guess what? He was too sexy? Too toxic in his masculinity? Gone! And now they've done it with the Superman franchise. I posted this yesterday. Turned my Instagram on fire. The image of Superman in a homosexual kiss. Because DC Comics, I guess they don't want to sell comics. And now the new Superman, the son of Kal-El, is going to come out as gay. Or as Jeff pointed out, I guess he's bi, right? Whatever, who cares? But here's the bottom line. This is beautiful. I hope Media Matters is writing this one up. Hey, Zachy Poo, are you typing? How many homosexuals, how many gay people are there in society? 1%, 1.5%. Let's be generous. Let's double it. 3%! 3% of America are gay. And the gay people I know, they don't rub it in your face.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe.
say, what are the rules? Kirk, cut the music.
I'm too fast. Champion from the crib. King. Born to champ. Born to champ from the crib. I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go to war right now. I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
I have tussled with a whale, I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now you know I'm bad. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. That can only mean one thing. It is time for Phonabro. What are the rules, Kirk?
Okay, Larry's going to play 5 sound clips from this week's show. And all you have to do is guess who's speaking. And if you can't guess, then you can ask for a clue. Phone a bro, and you'll get one of my world-renowned clues to help you get the answer.
And we have Spencer, who'll be squaring off against Brendan. Spencer is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Brendan is from Phoenix, Arizona. Brendan, not to be confused with Brandon. Spencer, you called in first. Remember, the first clue, you have to get it on your own. You cannot get a phone a bro. Spencer, this is a last man standing contest. Whoever gets the 5th and final clue correctly wins the contest, no matter what happened before. Sometimes, Spencer, the first person likes the other guy to go first. So it's up to you. Do you want to go first, or do you want Brendan to go first?
Don Lorenzo, I will go first, if that's okay.
That's more than okay. First one, you have to get it on your own. Here we go, Spencer.
But I also know that in America today, deep racial disparities continue to hold people back from achieving all they can.
I believe that is the border czar, Kamala Harris.
You are correct, sir. Soundbite number 2.
Dozens of texts, including from Trump administration officials, urged immediate action by the president. Quote, POTUS has to come out firmly and tell the protesters to dissipate. Someone is going to get killed. In another, Mark, he needs to stop this now.
Who is that speaker?
Can I hear it one more time?
Certainly.
Dozens of texts, including from Trump administration officials, urged immediate action by the president. Quote, POTUS has to come out firmly and tell the protesters to dissipate. Someone is going to get killed. In another, Mark, he needs to stop this now.
Again, this is your first round, so you can use a phone a bro if necessary, Spencer.
Okay, I'll use it.
Okay, she is a congresswoman from the state of Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. They only have one congressperson from the state of Wyoming.
Gosh, I don't know.
Okay. All right, Spencer, don't go away. All right, Brendan, I hear you're very, very confident. Brendan, do you know the answer to that clue?
All right, that sounded like Liz Cheney.
That was Liz Cheney. Okay, soundbite number 3, and of course, you can use a phone a bro if necessary. Brendan, here we go.
Okay, this is an elite-driven phenomenon being driven by bureaucratic elites, elites in universities, and elites in corporate America, and they're trying to shove it down the throats of the American people.
I'll play it again.
Okay, this is an elite-driven phenomenon being driven by bureaucratic elites, elites in universities, and elites in corporate America.
I heard you say Ron DeSantis. Nicely done. Soundbite number 4, Brendan. Here we go.
Science is unequivocal. Yeah, I tweeted to that effect. But by the same token, I am against forcing people to be vaccinated. You know, I think this is just not something we should do in America. I think we should encourage people to be vaccinated, strongly try to convince them to be vaccinated, but not force them to be vaccinated, or for example, force them to get vaccinated or get fired.
Oof. Can I hear it one more time?
Certainly.
Science is unequivocal. Yeah, I tweeted to that effect. But by the same token, I am against forcing people to be vaccinated. You know, I think this is just not something we should do in America. I think we should encourage people to be vaccinated, strongly try to convince them to be vaccinated, but not force them to be vaccinated,
That
or,
is the,
or for
the
example,
man
force them to
with
get
the legend,
vaccinated or
Elon
get
Musk.
fired.
Did I hear you say Elon Musk?
That is correct.
You are correct. The good news is this is the fifth and final clue. The bad news is you've exhausted your phone and bro, so you have to get this one on your own. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
So I think the word transitory has different meanings to different people. To many, it carries a sense of short-lived. We tend to use it to mean that it won't leave a permanent mark in the form of higher inflation. I think it's probably a good time to retire that word and try to explain more clearly what we mean.
Brendan, who is that gentleman?
Well, Larry, I don't think I used my phone, bro. If we can double check that, I'd like to use it now.
You did. You used it on Elon Musk. Remember, I played it. I'm sorry, you surely didn't. You just had me play it twice. I take it back. You didn't use your phone, bro. I stand corrected.
Okay.
Okay. Here's your hint. He is the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
This is tough because this is a tough one, but I think it's Mayorkas.
Yikers. All right, don't go away, Brendan. Don't go away. All right, Spencer, fifth and final clue. Your opponent said it was Majorca. Shall I play it again for you?
Yes, please.
So I think the word transitory has different meanings to different people. To many, it carries a sense of short-lived. We tend to use it to mean that it won't leave a permanent mark in the form of higher inflation. I think it's probably a good time to retire that word and try to explain more clearly what we mean.
And the clue I gave him was he is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. His name is. And again, this is your first time back, so you can use a phone, bro, if you don't know. But if you know, lay it on me. If you know, you win the contest.
Well, if I've got it, I'll spend it.
Okay. Last name begins with P as in Paul.
P. Powell?
Whoa!
Somebody give me an amen.
Nicely done, Spencer. Jerome Powell is his name. Very nicely done.
Jerome, yes.
Yes, sir. Well, Spencer, stay on the line, and we're going to get your information. You'll send you a copy of Dear Father, Dear Son, and Brendan, sorry things didn't work out for you, but thank you both for playing. Very well played, gentlemen. 888-971-SAGE. Do not leave town.
Trending now on the Dennis Prager Show.
Women are born ignorant of male sexual nature. It's not their fault. We're so different from women. There's no fault here. But it is the fault of a society that doesn't teach them that. And society always did. But not since the 60s. Because they wanted to believe men and women are basically the same. So I'm curious, are you a religious home?
Yes, we are religious.
Right. So here's my theory. Religious Americans are less naive than secular Americans.
I like that theory. I concur because we speak of evil.
That's right.
And we speak of wrongdoing. Yes.
Exactly right. You're a joy. You're in Fort Worth. I don't blame you. I hope we meet one day. And your husband should give me a couple of cigars. There's no question about that. Isn't that interesting, folks? Do you know who probably the most ignorant women in America are about men? Women who get PhDs in the social sciences. I would say that a woman who got a PhD in gender studies or in sociology or anthropology knows less about men than a high school dropout from a Christian home. And they're the people teaching your kids.
Keep up with what's trending. Subscribe on YouTube today. Trending now on The Hugh Hewitt Show.
$85 billion worth of equipment. The entire budget, military budget of Russia for a year is $50 billion.
Wow.
And we left $85 billion worth of equipment in the hands of the Taliban.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
Larry, my name is Sean, and I just want to call and just let you know that I am totally in agreement with all of my friends who totally call you and just tell you that you don't know anything about the homeless people, and they are right. And you know what? I will actually not even look up any of your information because I know that my friends are right and then you're wrong, period. Okay? They know that you know nothing. They know that you know nothing. We know it all, so that is your problem. You need to get on board with our program. We're not looking up any of your information, Larry. We don't care. Okay, Larry? Yeah, why don't you put that on the show, Larry?
Are you high?
Yeah.
888-971 SGE 888-97. Too much eggnog for that guy. 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. If you like my show, you'll love watching it also on SalemNewsChannel.com or the app with the same name that you can get at the Apple or Android store. Watch us on Roku. Just type Salem News Channel into the search bar. Listen to us. Watch us all day long. Come check us out. We are the antidote to the mainstream media. SalemNewsChannel.com. That's SalemNewsChannel.com. Now, all you out there know that MyPillow doesn't have box stores. They don't have shopping channels. And they have been canceled by outlets like Bed Bath & Beyond because Mike Lindell dared to question the legitimacy of the 2020 election. But you've been very loyal to MyPillow, and he wants to pass along his appreciation by offering you the lowest price in the history of MyPillow for their classic standard MyPillow, regularly $69.98, now only $19.98 with promo code. They also have queen size, regularly $79.98, now $24.98 with promo code, or king size, regularly $89.98, now only $29.98 with your promo code. MyPillow's not just pillows. They have over 150 products, everything from sleepwear to my new bed. So, promo code also works on mystore.com and frankspeech.com. Just go to mypillow.com or call 1-800-890-1843. Be sure and use promo code Larry to take advantage of Mike's special offer on their standard MyPillow. That's mypillow.com, promo code Larry, or 1-800-890-1843. That's 1-800-890-1843. The results of the zip poll question I left you with yesterday. Have you been a victim of crime while outdoors in the last year? 7% said yes. That is a high number. 93% said no. Here is the one for tonight. For the weekend, we'll go over the results on Monday. If you had a choice not to wear a mask while on a plane, would you wear a mask anyway? Yes or no? In order to participate, you must be a member of the Zip community. Go to your app store and download the Zip app by searching under Zip Poll USA. And be sure to use my code SAGE, S-A-G. Southwest CEO Roger Wicker says masks don't add very much.
Colleagues' comments on the quality of the air. It's the statistics I recall is 99.97% of airborne pathogens are captured by the HEPA filtering system, and it's turned over every 2 or 3 minutes. We use UT Southwestern and Stanford School of Medicine. But I think the case is very strong that masks don't add much.
Everybody have a great weekend. Make sure you're on time on Monday. I will be checking attendance. I am Larry Elder, going to be on the Hannity Show at 6:45 p.m. Check it out. Pacific time.